Fridays at Fetterman's. I have over 50 years of experience working as a social justice activist, which means I'm getting older, and I'm a fundraising professional to put the tofu on the table.
And my name is Robin Lasserson. I am the other co-coordinator of Fridays at Fetterman's, also a longtime peace and justice activist, educator, and fundraising professional. Terry and I both live in the city of Philadelphia.
And not only are we taking 2 people to do our presentation, we're going to have a PowerPoint, so we need colleagues' help too. Okay, October 18th, 2023. Senator Fetterman blocks pathways to peace from the very start. Now is not the time to talk about a ceasefire. We can talk about a ceasefire after Hamas is neutralized. A statement issued from Senator Fetterman from his office on the 18th of October.
Early on, after the horrific attacks of October 7th, 2023, the United Nations and the international community called for an immediate ceasefire and the release of all captives. From the beginning, Senator Fetterman rejected a peaceful, negotiated resolution to the crisis and supported and encouraged Israel's use of weapons of mass destruction in Gaza.
Next slide. November 14th, 2023. A propagandist for Israel. Senator Fetterman drapes himself in the flag of Israel at a march on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
The Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, of 1938 defines a foreign agent as an individual or entity acting on behalf of a foreign principal and engaging in political activities and propaganda advancing a foreign actor's interests before the interest of the United States. While Senator Fetterman may or may not be technically in violation of FARA, the evidence is clear that he is engaged in political activities and propaganda advancing the Netanyahu's administration's declared interests of Israel rather than the best interests of the United States of America.
Next slide. So January 11th of 2024, Senator Fetterman scolds South Africa for pursuing a case against Israel in the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, accusing Israel of genocide. Fetterman quips they ought to sit this one out in a post that he does on social media. Thank you.
By January of 2024, over 23,000 people in Gaza had been killed by Israel's relentless attacks, mostly children and other civilians. Nearly 60,000 had been injured, 2 million had been displaced, and millions were facing disease, illness, and starvation. Yet, Senator Fetterman publicly condemned the South Africa government for bringing a case of genocide against Israel in the International Court of Justice.
Next slide. May 28th, 2024, Senator Fetterman attacks President Biden for simply threatening to withhold 2,000-pound mega bombs from Israel for the pending attack on Rafah. I don't think we should be withholding any munitions. I think we should be sending them immediately. Social media post by Senator Fetterman.
By May of 2024, at least 35,000 people in Gaza have been killed by Israel, mostly children and other civilians. Yet, Senator Fetterman attacked the Biden administration for their tentative suggestion that they might halt a shipment of 2,000-pound mega bombs to Israel out of a well-founded fear that they would be used to decimate the city of Rafah.
Next slide. November 18th, 2024. Senator Fetterman condemns Pope Francis for labeling Israel's assault on Gaza as genocide and calling for an investigation. I reject the accusation of genocide and any investigations in the strongest term, a social media post by Fetterman.
By November of 2024, at least 44,000 people in Gaza had been killed by Israel, mostly children and other civilians. When Pope Francis spoke out against the atrocities, labeling Israel's war as a genocide and calling for an international investigation, Senator Fetterman took to social media to chide the Pope and to rush to the defense of Israel.
Next slide. February 4th of 2025, Senator Fetterman signals his support for Trump's proposed ethnic cleansing of Gaza and its transformation into an American-owned resort area. The Palestinians allowed October 7th to occur, and now Gaza has to be rebuilt. Where are the people going to live? Where are they going to go? It's part of the conversation with where they're at right now. Social media post by Senator Fetterman.
By February of 2025, at least 62,000 people in Gaza have been killed by Israel, mostly children and other civilians. Donald Trump was now President of the United States, and he stunned friend and foe alike when he declared that the U.S. should own the Gaza Strip and transform the territory into the Riviera of the Middle East. Rather than berating Trump for floating an illegal and racist scenario, Senator Fetterman gave it credence, suggesting on his social media post that the entire Palestinian population was collectively responsible for October 7th and thus may need to be removed from their land.
Next. March 20th of 2025, Senator Fetterman receives a gift of a silver-plated pager, a symbol of contemporary state terrorism, from Prime Minister Netanyahu during a visit to Israel. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you for this. Fetterman's acceptance remarks.
By March of 2025, Israel had unilaterally ended the tenuous military ceasefire in Gaza and instituted a total blockade of all food, fuel, medicine, and water into Gaza. Still, Senator Fetterman traveled to Israel to accept Netanyahu's gift of a ceremonial pager. The gift celebrated Israel's use of exploding pagers detonated by remote control to assassinate and injure perceived enemies in Lebanon and Syria, including civilians and children. Fetterman expressed delight when receiving this chilling gift.
Next. Senator Fetterman votes with Israel. $15 billion for military aid to Israel. Senator Fetterman voted yay on April 30th, 2024. The aid package passed the United States Senate. The proposed United States sanctioning of the International Criminal Court, ICC, for issuing arrest warrants for PM Netanyahu and other Israeli officials accused of war crimes. Apparently, Senator Fetterman supports some sanctions because he voted yay on January 28th, 2025. Fetterman was the only Democrat to vote yay. The sanction bill, fortunately, failed in the U.S. Senate. Then the joint resolution of disapproval to block transfer of offensive arms to Israel for use in Gaza. Senator Fetterman voted nay on April 3rd, 2025. The JRD failed in the U.S. Senate.
While Senator Fetterman's propaganda and one-man public relations campaign for Israel's war on Gaza have been valuable assets for Netanyahu's right-wing government, Senator Fetterman's actual votes in the United States Senate have also provided a sword to batter Gaza and a shield against international accountability.
So Fridays at Fetterman's does charge Senator Fetterman with complicity with Israel's war crimes and genocide in Gaza.
As a member of the United States Senate, Senator Fetterman is one of 100 of the most powerful individuals in the world. The influence of a United States Senator on U.S. diplomatic and military policy far outweighs that of any local, statewide, or federal elected official except for the President. In the case of Senator Fetterman, we believe we have presented evidence that he has exercised a unique, outsized influence on U.S. policy related to Israel's U.S.-funded war on Gaza since October 7, 2023. We contend that Senator Fetterman has aided and abetted the commission of war crimes and genocide by Israel against civilians living in Gaza.
Next. Senator Fetterman cannot plead ignorance. Fridays at Fetterman's and other peace and justice human rights groups in Philadelphia and throughout Pennsylvania have made sure that Senator Fetterman is fully aware that Israel is committing war crimes and genocide in Gaza. Citizens, residents, and taxpayers in Pennsylvania have called, emailed, and sent letters to Senator Fetterman. have met with Senator Fetterman's foreign policy staffers, have conducted nonviolent civil disobedience actions at Senator Fetterman's Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia office, and just yesterday conducted the 79th consecutive weekly peace vigil for Gaza outside of Senator Fetterman's Philadelphia office. Senator Fetterman is aware of what's going on in Gaza because the people of Pennsylvania have told him.
Due to the persistent efforts of Philadelphia's human rights advocates, Senator Fetterman cannot plead ignorance of Israel's war crimes and genocide in Gaza. We will end our testimony by playing a video clip of an interaction between Senator Fetterman and Terry Rumsey when a group from Fridays at Fetterman's encountered Senator Fetterman in the garden of the Russell Senate office building in April of 2024.
Do we have it?
1 second, please.
No clip.
Okay.